No, as far as the commission is concerned, this is what is in the law. This is what I believe the government is paying the senators and members of House of Representatives.
All right, this is a complete indictment, really. I mean, we are here, we are seeing, rmafc chair saying that it's the law. I mean, does it fall within his purview to also do that sort of investigation? Because he has said it. We see so many figures bandied around. Kano Senator, we hail you. He said 21 million naira in allowances. Rufi, you are on fire yesterday.
I'm on fire. Obi here is burning not. I'm on fire. I'm singing Lloyd Banks. Who's going to stop me? Oji, I said it yesterday.
You did.
It made no practical sense what the rmafc chief was saying. 1 million naira. So politicians that I knew of somebody that ran for Senate in 2019. He didn't get it in the end. He had expended over 200 million. I knew people that sold their houses in Lekki to run for Senate, cumulatively close to $1 billion. And you think they're going to run for that just to be able to get $1 million a month, which is not up to the amount they will rent out their BQ in Lekki? Are you kidding me? It's not possible. And I was vindicated. I was totally vindicated. So the rmafc chief does not know what he's saying. Practical reality, senator that is earning the money, that is getting the bank alert napakam, let me know the bounce, bank alert napakam, is 21 million. But the shocking thing is, Oji, professors are earning less than $1 million in this country. We struggle to get 70,000 minimum wage. Doctors are earning far less, farmers are earning far less. But people that only need a primary school certificate, a lot of violence and political favoring, can earn 21 million because they're senators of the Federal Republic. We need to rejig things because it's not sustainable. And the country can't continue to run this way. So, Oji, also, I was correct that money is even chicken feed for some of their girlfriends. A man that earns 21 million can decide to give a woman 1 million.
Well, I was listening to your newspaper review earlier. If you can pull up Daily Trust newspaper, what did that article say? If you can pull that up, I believe that they were saying senators' monthly pay hits 2 billion, and it also needs real scrutiny at this point. I think that Daily Trust did well in that with that caption, just to highlight that plight. And we have been talking about cutting the cost of governance. The senators, something's got to give. I think that's my new language now for this era. Something's got to give. Well, Nigerians have been reacting to a premiumtimes report alleging that a French court has authorized the seizure of 3 presidential jets linked to the federal government of Nigeria. 2 of the jets are said to be part of the Nigerian presidential air fleet, which were reported to be put up for sale, while the third is an Airbus 330, which was purchased by Nigeria but yet to be delivered. Well, according to the report, the presidential jets were reportedly seized after an application by a Chinese company whose export processing zone management contract was revoked by the Ogun state government in 2016. A court had awarded about $74.5 million in compensation. I mean, which kind wahala is this? A lot of people have reacted on social media. Let me just take this from Okpeoluwa, who wrote, well, moving forward, if a state must go into an agreement, contract with a foreign partner, it must be sanctioned by the federal government or the OAGF, that's the Attorney General of the Federation. If the agreement must be cancelled, it must be with the explicit consent of the federal government and the OAGF. Which kind wahala be this? That was the tweet that I found. But the federal government at this point is having to, pay for what the state government has, accrued. But we need to hear from the Ogun state government as to the reason why that, Chinese contract was revoked. We also need to hear from the federal government as to what was supposed to have been done in order to avert this sort of embarrassment for Nigeria, according to the news that is being bandied around now.
Yeah, this is an embarrassing story, and I have to give context that this happened in 2016, so it's not the current administration in Ogun State that's responsible for this. However, governance is a continuum. So whether or not it was in 2016, and this is why we keep emphasizing on leadership, because a decision made by a particular administration could have far-reaching effects even down the line, years and years afterwards, and this is what we've seen here. The award of over $70 million as a result of that failed transaction was actually done by an independent arbitrary court. And this was done that they should pay. They were owing because of the way their transaction wasn't honored, and the fact that an agreement wasn't honored according to the contracts that had been agreed by both parties. Years down the line, sometimes we feel that when it comes to judgment and courts, the way we do it anyhow in Nigeria, whereby you can choose to honor or dishonor a particular judgment, you can do it in international bodies. It's not the same anywhere. And so now these 3 aircraft are being held as almost collateral, and the judgment is that until Ogun State honors and pays the bailiff to the tune of about $76 million, they won't release the aircraft. And now the federal government is suffering from a decision and bad administration, bad judgment by a particular administration. This is not the only thing. Remember the P&ID case? We've had a number of cases like this where we almost bury our heads in the sand and then we have to pay years and years later for it. I can't imagine the interest that accrued on this over the years, and now we are having to pay. Where is the money to pay for it, OG? This aircraft, the third one you mentioned, hasn't even been delivered. The other 2 went for maintenance. The third aircraft, which Nigeria is reportedly have paid over $100 million, is also being held to ransom as a result of this bad this contract that went so. So like you mentioned, we have to hear from the Ogun State government as to why they didn't, what happened. So we get the true picture of things, but to be honest, the court had ruled. So the court had the opportunity to hear both sides of the story and ruled in favor of Zhangzhun, which is a Chinese company. So maybe let's start paying off the debts.
74.
That's just the penalty.
Million
so they've kidnapped
dollars. They've
They're
kidnapped
holding them ransom.
Yes, they're holding it. They're holding it. 3.
Until you shake body.
Yes, just like that, Rufai.
Is it the president what they want to go and say?
Well, we don't know. I believe one of them that they said that has not yet been delivered is probably the one in contention. One of them.
So
they said jet, not yours.
So what we bought in the kidnap?
All right, $74.5 million is what they're asking. Well, according to the report. Well, speaking about court papers, the governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, on Wednesday said suspected hoodlums took away documents of alleged corruption cases against Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, during the End Bad Governance protest. The governor made the allegations while addressing the damage done to the court on Wednesday. He described those who took away the court documents as enemies of Kano. Ganduje, who was a former governor of Kano, is facing graft allegations levied against him, as well as members of his family and associates. Wahala upon wahala upon wahala. Now they're saying that his court documents were stolen by hoodlums. I mean, we did see in Kano State, there were all those buildings that were being burned, even a library. Some young people went in there.